With Pokemon X and Y coming out, I figured I'd do a quick shot of it, after I played it obsessively. And then it turns out that I can't capture 3DS footage.
3D Pokemon adventure is about to begin. Introducing
Top 15 favorite Pokemon list! I like ghost types. I mean, I don't like any single one enough to make this list, but I figured I'd mention them here. My favorites are probably the ones from 3rd gen, especially Shuppet and Duskull. Although there are a few I dislike. I didn't even know Rodent was a ghost type! But, whatever. Ghosts are cool. 15. I have never, ever used this Pokemon. Ever. I've tried, but I always get fed up. People always joke about Zubat because he's everywhere in the caves. But that's not my complaint. No, actually, once he learns a few moves, he's pretty good. And Crobat is just cool looking. I just hate the friendship evolution mechanic. Seriously, they just saw it in the manga, they saw it in the anime, and thought it would be a good idea for a game mechanic? No, no, no. Bad Game Freak. Bad. 14. Ampharos is awesome. He's in charge of the lighthouse in Olivine. Get it? Charge? I'm gonna leave the puns to J-Wits. The fact that his Mega Evolution gets Fabio hair and becomes a freaking dragon just makes this Pokemon even more awesome. 13. These guys are a pain in the ass to find. Before you could just track them down on your map, you actually had to luck into these guys. Or just use a ton of repels. And Latias is the first roaming legendary I actually caught. But why I like these guys is because of their appearance in the movie. They're just adorable. 12. A lot of people pick Charmander. A lot like Squirtle. But Bulbasaur was always my first pick. I can make a top 10 list of my favorite starters, but for now, Bulbasaur is the only one that makes this list. I'm sorry, Totodile. 11. True story. As a kid, my favorite Pokemon type was Grass. I even tried to make an all-grass team in Red and Blue. But there weren't a lot of options. In fact, there were barely enough for a full team. My trading card game decks were always grass themed, and my first screen name was Grassmaster3286. I was a little too naive to understand what was wrong with that. So of course I was excited to find out that in Gold and Silver there was a legendary grass Pokemon. Celebi was awesome and adorable, and more importantly showed Exeggutor what a good grass psychic type should be. 10. A lot of people pick their favorites based on the anime. So do I. But Psyduck is here for a slightly different reason. When my nephew was a baby, I felt it was my job to teach him useless things. I taught him to smash his fist together, shake it like a Polaroid picture, and more importantly, to beat up his father. But one of his favorite things was when I would do my Psyduck impression. I don't even think it's that close to the original. Duck! But it's not like he knew any better, he'd never seen the show. He would make me do it about 300 times in a row. And as a result of that, his first word was Duck Duck. So, Psyduck will always be a Pokemon I remember fondly. Duck? 9. Just look at this guy. Just look at him. What do I have to say? 8. one ever puts Pikachu in their top 10 list. He's like the John Cena of the Pokemon world, the face of the franchise, but some over-opinionated 14-year-olds would have you believe that it should be Tangrowth if he got a push and was used properly. But enough about wrestling. I'm technically not putting Pikachu on this list either. I'm pairing him with his big brother Raichu instead. Tag team division joke. Sure, they may be as weak as a wet paper bag, but they're fast and hit hard. Couple that with getting Pikachu very early on in Red and Blue, and it's no wonder why he was always on my final team. 7. Giant beast Pokemon are awesome. Dark types are awesome. Pokemon that eat mountains and then grow up to become one? Now you're talking legendary. I was so happy when I found out Tyranitar was in Pokemon Coliseum that I almost forgot about the fact that they tried to get rid of him in the first place. Almost. 6. Is Sharpedo related to Garchomp in some way? Probably. Who cares? He's cooler looking anyways, even if he kinda sucks. As the first shark Pokemon, he was definitely worth the wait, and maybe he'll get an evolution someday. Hey, these guys got evolutions, I can dream. 5. Electabuzz was one of my favorite Pokemon from the original games. So much so that I went out and took money I earned from yard work to buy my very own copy of Pokemon Red. Since, up to this point, my brothers and I all played off a single copy of Blue. Then, when Gold and Silver came out and I saw the baby Pokemon, Elekid was the only one I didn't hate. Alright, Clef is adorable too, but the rest of them suck. And at first, I hated Electivire. I hated all of the new evolutions actually, but I felt like they ruined Electabuzz. Though not really as much as Rhydon. That poor guy. But he's growing on me. I still prefer the first one, but all three of these guys are awesome. Farf. I feel like I'm the only person who hasn't switched to Scizor as their favorite, but I don't know. Scyther just looks more badass. It's probably the sides. And yet another reason Red is better than Blue. Actually, with the exception of the next Pokemon, my entire top 5 is made of Pokemon that are either exclusive to Red or just easier to find in it. 3. Mew is quite simply the cutest Pokemon of them all. There's no other reason I need to give. But if you actually need proof, here it is. 2. Growlithe was my favorite Pokemon for a long time. An awesome fire dog that is also used as a K9 unit for the cops. His Gen 1 sprite art sucked, but that's okay. I always went off the Ken Sugimori artwork. But, in the end, I always ended up evolving him. I think I was just too stupid as a kid to realize that if I really liked a Pokemon, I could keep it unevolved. I mean, I used the Missing No trick. He was going to be level 100 anyways. I don't think anyone really stood a chance against him. Number 1. I swear, I am not a Gen 1er. I just grew up with these guys. It's nostalgia. Pure nostalgia for me. So, I don't think the Gen 1 Pokemon are better than any of the other guys. It's just who I grew up with, so naturally they'd be my favorites. That said, Nidoking is my all-time favorite. He's so confident that he's even a badass while being pink. Plus, he was the man in the trading card game, as the best option to take out those pesky Mr. Mime in the early days. And those are my favorite Pokemon, at least that we've gotten so far. The Pokemon they've already revealed for X and Y are already looking like a pretty consistently cool class. It might even be as good as the one they released for Gold and Silver. But I don't know these guys that well, so as much as I was tempted to put Chespin and Pancham on the list, I decided to stick with the guys I've already gotten to know. But who knows? If the Pokemon are as good as they already seem, I might end up doing a top 10 of my favorite Pokemon from just these games. So, until then, I'm gonna go obsessively play some Pokemon. And so are the rest of you. He's like the John Cena of the Pokemon world, the face of the franchise. But some over-opinionated 14-year-olds would have you believe that it would be Apom, Kricketune, Smeargle in charge if he got a push and was used properly. Nah, Smeargle doesn't work either.